lead line through with 10 to go. Pace most certainly will be up, but it looks like we might have a glory group of about 10 or 12 to play with here, because the long line has snapped on the descent due to the pace.
It certainly has. Maybe if you're looking at the gap behind us, I can just about see there's probably about 15 riders in that front group. We're just on the outskirts of Cordoba now. Just 9.5 kilometers to go. This is the question is now, will this lead group work together? Because there's riders not too far behind who will get a bit between the teeth. They'll see that it's a gap that they can get across. I think we'll see this group swell. I don't think we'll see too much cohesion.
I think we've got TJ Van Garderen and Philippe Gilbert here for BMC, plus another, possibly Brent Buchwalter of the American, in a trio. What a fantastic piece of firepower they've got. And so they're all joining the fun. Look at this. Well, have a bit of energy, why don't you?
Indeed, so a bit of direct energy there. That's Sylvain Chavanel in that the black and the red kit. Looks like he's actually wearing a pair of trainers, but I can assure you they are cycling shoes, a retro style. But there you go, Sylvain Chavanel on third wheel there. Riding extremely well already this season. He's got a win under his belt.
And he's going for it. Sylvain Chavanel has lit it up. He's just decided to go past Damiano Caruso for BMC. Camera's just missed it now, I'm afraid. He's just gone out the top of your screen. But this is fantastic. Philippe Gilbert knows that this is an important moment as well. TJ Van Garderen also very much involved with possibilities today. But great to see Chavanel just grasping the nettle there and having a go and saying, look, I'm still here. I'm still a danger. Very much so. On the form he's on at the moment.
Well, he's great. He's such an aggressive rider, so tenacious, and again he will attack on any sort of terrain. Sometimes he's a little bit foolhardy, but I love the spirited way in which he rides. But now it's the former Olympic champion. You can tell by the golden shoes it's Sammy Sanchez. Brett Buchwalter is also there for BMC in the red and black.
It is the big American that's also very much in the frame, and it is old golden shoes himself, Sammy Sanchez, that noses to the fore. My goodness, this is getting very, very selective. Sky also with options today.
It looks like Pouls is in there. Definitely a couple of riders from Team Sky. It does look as if one of the riders from Cofidis has managed to infiltrate this group. Here. But Swifty's there. Great ride by Swifty. He can pull off this sort of win. Look at the Tour de Basque Country back in 2014. He managed to crest one of the climbs with an elite group of about 20 or 30 punchers and climbers. Danny Navarro is the rider there
Fabio
from Cofidis.
Fellini's made it as well. Now that's quick. A massive one. He's a super sprinter. He's got over the hills. Fellini from Trek Factory Racing in the white shoulders. What an option they've got today. Well, you can't pick it, quite frankly. Not at the moment anyway, as Brent Buchwalter just engages the pace, and now they know this is going to be a selective punch-up, and I suggest Fabio Fellini is possibly the call right now. My goodness. And who else has joined the fun? Navarro from Cofidis did make it over. No sign of Buhani though. But Fellini for Trek Sagafredo, that's not a bad call at all.
It isn't at all. But because of the strength in numbers in this group for BNC, that's why we're seeing Brent Buchwalter be happy to ride on the front. Sammy Sanchez is just moving round, but Philippe Gilbert significantly is. They're a great sprinter from a small group. Also in the mix is Rafa Majka of Tinkoff Saxo.
Wow. So still the pace being kept up, wants to keep it selective, and Danny Moreno is engaging that pace on behalf of those around him. Sammy Sanchez chasing him hard, as you can see, in a big move as well for one of the IAM Cycling. Has David Tanner, the Aussie, made it up here for IAM Cycling? If he has, he's in a great place at the moment. There we are, just looking back, Danny Bernardi, and he's not in the best place at the moment, I'm afraid.
He's not. It looks like that was the second moto group, but this group is starting to work particularly well. 3 riders from Team Sky are in there. Be interesting if we could just identify the rider from IAM Cycling. Look at the climbers they've got on that team. Martin Elmiger, Matthias Frank, potentially Oliver Zog, the Swiss rider, a good climber. But Sammy Sanchez now drives this group clear. Second group, or the group containing the race leader, is now at 20 seconds.
Well, they're all looking round just to see who's part of the party, quite frankly. But Swifty's got a great chance here. Ben Swift from Team Sky. Here comes Valverde coming through, just nosing ahead of Ben Swift. Ben Swift just looks like he's... is he going to lead in Wout Poels and try and just keep him safe in a moment such as this? We'll wait and see. Plenty of options then for all and sundry, and Switzu's still within this mix, which is great news for him. 5.1 to go. Let's tell you how it pans out, shall we? Just about one 3.5K, so 1,500 meters to go. They come into the Constitution Plaza. They'll take a right-hander. They come into the sort of a benign right-hander as they come into it. Then a 90-degree, which will take them down the park, essentially. A lot of greenery either side. Then at the Flamme Rouge, the road gently bends to the left. And then with 650 meters to go is the crucial roundabout. They take a quarter of it. So they'll go to the right-hand side of the road in order to make the left-hand turn and give themselves the biggest face for it. Then it's that straight run to the line. So watch out for the Flamme Rouge. It introduces about 200 meters before we get to that roundabout. Once we've dealt with that, then it's all hell let loose for the line.
Well, the group is swelling in size. Another splinter group has managed to get back in contact. Look how big the group is now, at 35, 40 riders in the mix. The rider definitely there from Yam Cycling is Rito Hollenstein. But now the attacks are starting.
They are starting. I think Belletti might well be in this for Southeast Venezuela as well. If he is, then he's got an option today. 3.6 to go. Pick your options, pick your route through, and make sure you make it count. Big roundabout on the approach, still waiting for that final roundabout with 650 to go. But this is now become a group with many more options.
It looks like it's Hollenstein from Yam Cycling, joined by one of the riders from Team Sky, but Movistar are not going to let this one go. 3.3 kilometers to go. I'd reckon about 40 riders in that group. It looks like it's all going to come back together. Currently, Movistar looking around, just double-checking to see who's in the group. This is going to be absolutely fascinating as they turn left onto the Avenue del Aeroporto.
There we are, 3 kilometers to go then. This will be a straight line until they get to about 1.5 to go. So a long, long look for them now. And indeed to look around and see who's within the gang. No close-up shots for you, I'm afraid. So we are relying on our other senses. Getting back into this is the leader, I've got to tell you. Bernati has made it back in. The red jersey is there. Bernati has made his way back to this group. So it was a secondary group, and they've managed to reassemble themselves. Now, has Bouhanni got in here? I haven't seen him yet. If he has chance to make amends for a terrible lead in yesterday, I think that's him. I think Bouhanni is in here, as well as Deli Bernati. So all bets are off. Bernati is here with his teammates around him. You can see the red leader's jersey just bedded in to the yellow of Tinkoff Saxo, dead centre of screen.
This has a little bit of a kind of Milan San Remo sort of feel about it. That we've got some very, very good Poncho Rulo sprinters in the mix. Fantastic riding, some determined riding and teamwork again from Tinkoff Saxo to get Bernati back in the mix. Could it be double stage wins for the Italian in the red jersey? Team Sky take it up, 2.1 to go.
Well, he's worked for it, man. If he does get there, then he'll certainly deserve it. 2 to go then. As you can see, we're just about to take this bend. It brings them into the Plaza de Constitution. That's the benign bend I was telling you about. And then they'll take a more focused one. Ticker's just slightly out, by the way. They make the big turn now. The Flamme Rouge beckons. It's a 6 and 8 lane highway that we're dealing with at the moment. And it is, of course, Kirienka that's just laying it on the line for Team Sky at the moment, trying to keep the hurt on and wear out some of the quick men. But Bernati has played a great game here today. He hasn't burnt himself. He's not overly chased down. He's waited for his chance to get reassembled, and the man in the red leader's jersey is here.
And another rider in the red jersey of Cofidis on the wheel of Bernati is Nasser Bouhanni of France. He hasn't had a win this year. He desperately wants one. He got it wrong yesterday. He's in prime position at the moment. 1 kilometer to go. Well,
it's all about that final roundabout, but I believe that Bouhanni has now got a chance to assemble himself. Haven't seen the beard of Soupé, his favoured final lead-out man. I know that Bozic was caught out on the climb and was not comfortable at all. And look at them, they're rocking and rolling with it at the moment. Everyone's knocking back, saving something for this final push for the line.
They certainly are. It's lots of looking around. They're leaving it very late. One of the riders from it's Dimension Data going on the inside.
It's Bradley, I believe, that's gone off here. Not a pure sprinter, but out of a group. He'll take a cheeky one if he can possibly get it, but I think he's not going to be favoured. Sylvester Schmidt, I think it is, that's got on his back for Spelli Polkovici and going for it. And Valverde lights it up, but he's dragging only Bouhanni into the frame now. The final is approaching us right now over the cobbles. It's surely got to be Bouhanni, and it certainly is. Wow, there we are. Bouhanni was not to be denied for a second time in a row. He got it very wrong yesterday on a roundabout. Took a wrong line. Bouhanni, though, makes sure this time by, and that, believe me, will be something of a relief to a man who's been short of wins. Good run.
Well, the boxer punches the air with delight, and he let out a big cry as well. Big relief for Nasser Bouhanni and his Cofidis team. Great ride, perfectly